Yes, good day. Good afternoon to all of you. So, can you all remember the chapter that we have discussed last week, and we have to continue with this chapter? Okay, there are few remaining slides. Then only we can move with the chapter number 4. You also put in, and you have to give it attention, please. So I have added some slides to the previous slides, and in that case, download the updated version of the slide set today. And then today's session, I have uploaded the updated slide set. Okay, I have added some few slides to the last week's slide set, and in that case, otherwise you all will mislead. So download the updated slide set. Right? So here, give me like 2 minutes. I will complete this summary. Then I will explain the areas that we have to discuss. Right, okay, but now listen. Right, okay, but the last week we were discussing about working under challenges, right? We have discussed certain areas under this chapter. So here, the specific title that we have to start today's discussion is facing challenges with confident and positive mindset, right? So here, one thing is with the working under challenges, right? The title is working under challenges. So then as readers, definitely always you'll have to link the chapter with the module, right? So here this is skills in leadership and innovation. So basically always we have to link all these areas with the leadership, right? Definitely when you are performing your role as a leader, working as a manager, right? You all have to face different challenges, right? Face different challenges. If we consider a deadline, also it's a challenge, right? So then you all have to accept that challenge. The first thing, right? If you all need to like step in your career ladder, then definitely we have to accept challenges. Like we cannot avoid challenges, we have to accept challenges, and we have to maintain kind of a positive mindset plus the confidence. We need to develop our confidence level, right? If we need to face challenges and if we want to take the maximum outcome from those challenges, we need to maintain two things. We need to maintain positive mindset, plus we need to maintain or improve our confidence level. So here, you can see the topic is facing challenges with confident and positive mindset. Then I have summarized the strategies that we can take or that we can implement in order to face challenges with confident and positive mindset as four. One is practical actions. What kind of practical actions we can take in order to improve the confidence level and the positive mindset, right? Then the mental strategies, right? What kind of mental strategies that we can execute or that we can implement in our mind or in ourselves in order to improve the confidence and the positive mindset, plus then the self-care practices. Lastly, you can see the mindset maintenance. Right? Here I have included some examples. For example, if we consider the practical actions that we can take, practical actions, right, that we can take to improve our confidence level plus to enhance our positive mindset. Here, take actions to execute plans. The thing is to say, sometimes we have plans, right? We have plans, but we are not taking necessary actions to actually execute them. Right? We have good objectives, we have good goals, and even we know the strategies also to achieve them, but we are not converting them into actions. Right? So then we need to take action to execute plan. ඇත්තටම කරන්නේ plan වෙච්ච දේවල් ටික ඇත්තටම කරන්න ඕන. Right? So then Here you can see another thing. Set smart goals. When we are planning also, we need to establish smart objectives. Because if the goal or the objective is not a specific one, if it is very hard, even the objective also hard to understand, then we don't know what to do. Right? So there are, just assume that's a challenge. Right? In order to face that particular challenge, right, we need to maintain some targets. Right? So then if the targets also not clear, then automatically we are getting stressed. Right? Automatically we are getting stressed. So to avoid that, we need to have smart goals. Smart in the sense specific. That means the goal should be really clear. Then the goal should be a measurable one, an achievable one, plus realistic, and there should be a time frame for the objective. And then it's clearly we know, right? Okay, within 2 months we have to achieve this. So once we complete the target, we can measure it in this way. So we have an idea, right? These are some examples that we can consider under practical actions, and these practical actions are focusing improving the confidence level and the positive mindset in order to face challenges. Always maintain the link, right? Then the mental strategies. So what kind of mental strategies that we can consider if we want to, again, improve our confidence level plus enhance our positive mindset? We have discussed this thing today, the positive self-talk. When we were discussing about the positive mindset, we have discussed, right? And we need to maintain growth mindset today, right? From our end, we need to seek some training and development sessions in order to improve our skills. Once we realize this area is weak, right? Then from our end, we need to seek more training and development sessions. We need to request more training and development sessions in order to improve our skills, right? Otherwise, we are getting stressed. In that way, you can see self-care practices. Take necessary actions to manage stress. Okay, one thing is that we can allocate some time to engage with our hobbies, right? Then maintain good health, right? So then in that way, mindset maintenance also you all can see. Practice flexibility and adaptability. From our input, always we need to be flexible. If we are not flexible, then we cannot face challenges because from our end, we are like showing the resistance towards the changes. We are not in a position to accept the challenges because we don't like to go with changes, right? If we are not flexible, this is kind of very important point with it, right? Just forget the leadership roles and the leaders. When we are performing in our organization, please improve the flexibility with it. Like we have to engage with different tasks, right? Like sometimes they are changing our working places and they are allocating us to different departments, right? We need to accept this because we need to accept the differences, right? Because we have to work with diversified workforce and if we consider the culture also it's diversified. If we are not accepting the changes with it, that means our flexibility level is low. We have to improve the flexibility. ඕන කෙනෙක්ට ඉන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, ඕන දෙයක් කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ, රැප් වෙනට limit was especially this is for the girls, we have to have our own plans to stay late hours with it. Right? If we are then if we are talking about gender equity, then from our end also as female employees, we have to give that contribution also. So if we do not have the flexibility, then we cannot go with the changes. In that case, we need to definitely improve the flexibility. Otherwise, from our end, we are getting stressed, we are getting pressurized. So then our confidence level and the positive mindset gradually get down. Okay, so then here enhancing emotional intelligence also it's important, right? So these things we have discussed. It's better to write down this summary in your book with it. with the exemption students. And then one line like photo to the sub to once you finish time this So here the first one is practical actions. This is practical actions. Under that, write down two examples. Take actions to execute plans. Take actions to execute plans. Then the second one, set smart goals. Set smart goals. So then write down the second one, mental strategies. Under that, write down the first one, maintain a growth mindset. Maintain a growth mindset. Then put a small dash and write down, improve skills via training and development sessions. Is it clear? Just try now. Let me see from inside. It's number they analyze the analyze different thing what they find that is clear now. So then this one second example and the mental strategy is positive self-talk. Then the third categorization is self-care practices. Self-necessary actions to manage stress. Put a small dash and write down, engage with hobbies. Then the second example for self-care practices, maintain good health. Then mindset maintenance, the fourth categorization. Practice flexibility and adaptability. Then the second example for that is enhance emotional intelligence. Yeah, what I have done was something like this today. In order to enhance positive mindset and confident level, in order to face challenges, okay? So we are following different strategies. I have categorized those strategies under 4 areas. That's what I have done. If we consider all strategies that we can use to improve the confidence level and positive mindset. Okay. So I have categorized those strategies under 4 areas called practical actions, mental strategies, self-care practices, and mindset maintenance. What please? You are worried. I'm actually going to check out into the government window. Over the morning, they put my cancer. I will keep the remote here. Right, okay. Now listen to this. So there's a small task that you have to do. It's a really small task, okay? So what I'm asking you all to do is, how do you manage time with work prioritization? Right? Simply write down 5 strategies that that you use to manage time. Write down 5 strategies that you use to manage time. Just forget that work prioritization, just write down 5 strategies to like when you consider when it comes to time management. Write 5 strategies that you consider in managing time or in time management. Oh, one strategies. So I'm seeing kind of a common answer, prepare a to-do list. Okay, prepare to-do list. Then some of you have written prioritize the work, right? So they are expecting which, like on which basis you are prioritizing the work. Definitely, if you want to manage the time, we need to prioritize the task within some time, within 8 hours or the 10 hours time, we cannot do all the things. Right? So then technically we need to go with prioritization. That is a very valid point, true. So then from your end, you all have to tell me based on which factors you all are prioritizing the work. When you all are prioritizing the work, what are the factors that you consider? It's like just there are 5 things to be done. Now you need to prioritize the list. Right? When you all are prioritizing the task. Okay. So what are the factors that you consider? Definitely, one factor can be urgency. If it is an urgent matter, definitely we have to do first. Plus, simultaneously or parallelly, we need to consider whether it's an important task. Right? 2 things. We need to consider the urgency, plus we need to consider the importance of the task also. If it is an urgent plus important task, we can do it first. Right? But there can be some urgent matters, but if the value addition of that particular task is less, then we can keep it for a while and we can engage with another task which is urgent and which is important also. Can you understand? Right? So when we are prioritizing, we need to consider 2 factors, the importance of the task plus the urgency of the task. Right? So here, all the answers that you have mentioned are acceptable. And other thing, as a leader, it's really important to give attention to this factor. When you are managing time, when we are performing as leaders, we have to engage with multiple tasks, right? So there are deadlines, the time is really limited. Okay, so in that particular point, as a leader, you should know to delegate the task to the correct subordinates. Delegation also kind of a really valid strategy that we can use to manage time. Without doing all the things from ourselves, but then we can delegate something, not some certain task to our subordinates. From that also we can manage time. Right? Then we can allocate considerable time to the strategic actions or the strategic areas. Right? Let me show you the strategies. So make a to-do list. I have seen from your answers. Then categorize tasks based on the urgency and importance. That means prioritization. Then we can prioritize the deadline. Okay, we can first, you all have to give the attention. Right? Then, yes, these things are really easy to understand, right? Another thing is, if it is kind of a hard or a difficult thing to achieve within the deadline, okay, so sometimes you all may have this experience also with it. From the senior management, they are expecting kind of a task, okay, we have to complete that particular task within 2 days. Just an example, okay? But from our experiences, we know we cannot complete the task within 2 weeks. At least for that kind of a task, it takes 4 weeks, 1 month time. Therefore, from our end, we should be able to say no. If we task pressure, right? Other hand, we cannot give the maximum for that particular task also. Definitely, the accuracy rate will get reduced, right? So the productivity definitely will get reduced. But so from that, the senior management cannot expect the maximum productivity from those kind of tasks, right? So here, that's why learn to say no. And there can be some areas that you all cannot understand, right? When you are engaging with tasks and if you need to complete them within a shorter period, okay? So if the task is not understandable, don't struggle with the task, seek the advice from the expert. Right? So in that way, there are like certain strategies. No need to write down because for the examination also maximum what I can ask is briefly explain some strategies which you can use to manage time in work organization. Sometimes I may give a small scenario and I ask some questions related to that scenario regarding the time management. But the thing is, if you have kind of a general idea about time management, then you all can answer that kind of a question. In that case, no need to limit it to these strategies. If you have kind of valid strategies, okay. From my end also, when I'm marking the answers, if I feel that those strategies are acceptable, then I'm giving marks. So in that case, no need to write down these strategies, but since this is kind of practical aid, it's subjective also. Right here, give your attention to this exhibit. Eisenhower matrix. This can be tested in the examination. Right? This matrix we can use to time management purpose. If we want to prioritize work and if we want to manage time, we can apply this matrix. Right? Simply, if we want to prioritize work and if we want to manage the time, we can apply this matrix. Okay, so here it says there are 2 things. We need to consider, as I explained, the importance of the task and the urgency of the task. Not important, important, then urgent, not urgent. If it is an urgent task plus if it is an important task, then definitely we have to do. Right? We have to prioritize those kind of tasks. Right? Then there can be another scenario. The task is not important, but it is an urgent matter. Right? Then what we can do is, we can, since it's not an important task to pay, the value addition wise, if it is there, then we can delegate it to our subordinates. Right? Then you can see the task is not urgent, but it's important. So then you can see it's decide. These tasks are important but not urgent. Going to the gym, time with family, those are some like examples related to our personal life. Okay, there can be certain situations or certain tasks when we are prioritizing. Those tasks are important but not urgent. And we can take some time and we can decide okay what to do. Since it's not an urgent matter. So in our list, we can keep it under, like we can keep it as just as if there are 5 tasks there are two tasks, those are urgent plus important, then we can prioritize them in the rank 1 and 2. Then we can keep this kind of a task as the third task in the list. Okay, because it's important. The thing is, it's not urgent. Then we can take some time to decide. Right? So write down this kind of a summary. Write down a topic. These A's and forward metrics and put a small dash. Write down the title as Eisenhower matrix. Put a small hyphen or dash and write down for the time management purpose. This matrix we can use for the time management. Eisenhower matrix for the time management purpose. Write down these people, then no need to read it to your next. Write down. So the first one, if the task is an urgent and important. Two, so if the task is an urgent and important, two, within brackets write down, give priority for those tasks. If the task is urgent and important, we have to do it from our end. As a leader, we need to do because the task also important, it's urgent. So as a manager, we cannot delegate. We cannot ignore. We cannot keep it for some time. No, we have to do at that particular point. Give priority for those tasks. And the second one is, if the task is an urgent and not important. We have to delegate. Then write down if the task is not urgent and important. Decide. And the last one, the task is not urgent, plus it's not an urgent one also. If it's not urgent, plus it's not an important, then we can ignore it. delete or no. That is not urgent and it's not important also. So there is no point of allocating time from our busy schedules to those kind of stuff. Can delete. Can forget that we can ignore. Write down this one. I will give a scenario. You all need to tell me whether we have to do, whether we have to delete, whether we have to delegate, or whether we have to decide. Okay. So write down this scenario. First finish writing this. We all have to clearly mention what are the tasks that we have to do, what are the tasks that we have to delegate, what are the tasks that we have to delete, and what are the tasks that we have to decide. And repeat the scenario. Right down. Mr. Kusal girls four. Mr. Kusal girls four. ABC company and working as manager market strategies and planning. Strategies and that is his designation. Manager, market strategies and plan. Correct? Let's continue. Senior management has handed over next year marketing plan. Next year marketing plan preparation project. Marketing plan preparation project. To Mr. Kusal's team. Mr. Kusal's team. Following out the task. Market strategy and planning. Market strategy and planning. Following out the task, market strategy and planning team. Market strategy and planning. Power 15. Has to power 15. 3 P's. beats time in between. Write down. Formulate. First start. Formulate. Marketing strategies. Establish KPIs. Key performance indicators. KPIs. And establish KPIs. For the marketing and sales force. Second one. Coordinate. With suppliers. Coordinate with suppliers. Request the prices. For the raw material. Third one. Prepare budgets. For next year. Prepare budgets for next year. Fourth one. Invite HODs of organization, activities of organization, to the budget preparation meeting. Then write down. Prepare a presentation. To present in the budget preparation meeting. For the budget preparation meeting. Conduct the market experiment. The next task. Conduct a market experiment. Research to identify consumer preferences, Then the final one. Prepare supply chain strategies. Prepare supply chain strategies. Prepare supply chain strategies. For next year. For next year. Prepare supply chain strategies for next year. So here, as the recap I have given supply chain strategies, particular department is focusing strategies related to marketing and sales. Right? So I have asked final one as prepare strategies related to supply chain. So now categorically start under these four. To design, delegate, and lead. I have received one correct answer. So, Yes. Some of you all have mentioned, like, for the second one, it's delete, right? That is also acceptable with it because the price requisition is related to the procurement department. From the procurement department, then we can seek the quotations, right? In that case, if you have mentioned it as delete, that is also acceptable. Delegate or delete. If you all can justify, if you all can justify do, if you all can justify decide based on the justification, I can give marks. So give me 5 minutes and then I can give the break. Right? So first finish writing. If you don't have any other answers to it, just tell me, then we can have a discussion. We can decide like whether we can go with that specific option also. Or not, we can decide. But the next slide one is really easy to understand. It's a, now listen to this, right? So when we have multiple tasks to perform, automatically we are getting stressed and we have like we feel that there are also challenges, right? When there are multiple tasks to be done from our end. right? So in that case, we need to have set of skills to manage doing multiple tasks at a kind of the same time. Okay, one skill that we need to have is time management, right? Other skill that we need to have is delegation, right? So here there are like different strategies, but it's really easy to understand. Focus and concentration, then problem solving skills, planning and organization skills, communication skills. It's very easy to understand. Write down the topic as this. Write down. Skills required to skills required to handle multiple tasks. Skills required to handle multiple tasks. So these skills will write down any four. If you feel easy to recall, write down any four skills. Don't write down the first four. Read the list and write down any four skills that you feel easy to recall. Okay, so with this, I will give the break. After the break, we will discuss the other parts of the chapter. This is for the online students, but if you all need to have any kind of a note, please send me an email or even you all can ask for me also because I'm giving notes while I'm walking. So in that case, there can be certain areas that you all cannot clearly listen or clearly hear. Right? In that case, what you can do is you all can request notes from the students who are physically attending for the lecture, or else you all can send me an email. Then from my end also, but I can send you the notes. Right? Anyhow, from my end, I will arrange kind of a mechanism to pass the notes with you all. Right? So please maintain the notes because here and there I'm telling if the areas are like related or like can be tested in the examination also I'm like mentioning. Okay, so in that case, just ask from your friends regarding the area that I have mentioned. Okay, this area is important for the examination. Then from your end also put a remark and maintain notes in relation to those areas, right? So now I have given them the break. You all also can take the break and then we can continue with the other areas of the chapter.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure.
So let me have a summary. Now listen to this. So let me have a summary. They asked us to come inside. Now, so now in the whiteboard, I will have a summary on strategies related to handling multiple tasks. So from your end also, the same photo and I share it in the WhatsApp group. Let's have that particular summary. So for the examination purpose, you all can use that summary. They are like categorizing all the strategies that we can consider when they are handling multiple tasks. We can categorize under three. So I will write down a small summary. You all also can have that, right? But then let me have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, there can be 57 signatures plus 61 signatures in the sign sheet. So then 65 signatures. Right, okay, now listen. So here, previously we have discussed about skills required to handle multiple tasks. Okay, under that you are having communication skills, delegation, time management skills, then team working skills. In that way, you all have mentioned different skills. So here I'm not going to discuss about skills. Here what I have mentioned related to the strategies that we can use to handle multiple tasks. Right? Strategies as leaders we can use to handle multiple tasks. So after considering different strategies, I have categorized them under three main categories. One is overall organizing strategies, right? So from our end, when we are organizing tasks, okay, so we can categorize some strategies under organizing strategies. Then delegation and collaboration strategies. The last one, stress management and self-care strategies, right? So under the overall organizing strategies, for example, the strategies like preparing the to-do list, then prioritizing the task or simply time management activities. So we can categorize those kind of activities or the strategies under overall organizing strategies. Then here, under the delegation and collaboration strategies, simply we can consider the delegation of works, right? Delegating tasks with the relevant or the suitable or appropriate subordinates. Then encourage teamwork and work under less supervision. That is also as leaders to say, if we want to handle multiple tasks, then we need to improve or enhance our subordinates' capabilities. If they can work or if they can take initiatives and if they can work under less supervision, it's a kind of a benefit for the leaders. Then they can concentrate on their tasks and they can handle multiple tasks, right? Another important point. And stress management and self-care strategies. Yes, these are really easy to understand strategies when we are engaging with multiple tasks. Right, in order to avoid the stress, we can take regular breaks. Okay, after 1 hour time, after 2 hours time, we can take a break and we can again, after the break, then we can again keep the concentration and maintain healthy work-life balance. Right? So these things we can consider as some strategies which we can use to handle multiple tasks. So have this summary on your book for the examination purpose also. You all can stick to this summary, right? So From you are going to write down the note with me, then you all will feel it's easy to write. First, write down strategies to handle multiple tasks. Strategies to handle multiple tasks. Put the last rows. Write down. Just take out your book and write down the note. So strategies to handle multiple tasks and have these three categorizations. First one, overall organizing strategies. Overall organizing strategies. The first one. Then the second one, the second category, delegation and collaboration strategies. The second one. Delegation and collaboration strategies. And the third one, stress management and self-care strategies. Stress management and self-care strategies. The last categorization. 66, 67, 68. Right? So under the overall organizing strategies, write down these two. Prepare a plan or plan for to-do tasks. Plan for to-do tasks. Simply you all can write down, create a to-do list. Then second one, prioritizing tasks. Time management. Prioritizing tasks. Time management. These are organizing. So we are assigning tasks, we are managing time. So the strategy is related to organizing. Right? Then delegation and collaboration strategies. The first one, delegating tasks with appropriate subordinates. Delegate or delegating tasks with appropriate subordinates. And the second one, encourage teamwork and work under less supervision. We need to encourage our subordinates to work under less supervision. Take initiatives. We have discussed this area. Encourage teamwork and work under less supervision. Right? Under the third categorization, under the stress management and self-care strategies, write down, take regular breaks. These are the main examples for the strategies. For the organizing strategy, these are some examples. Then delegation and collaboration strategies, these are some example strategies. And these are some example strategies for stress management and self-care strategies. The last one, maintaining. Here I have not mentioned healthy, but it's better to write down maintaining healthy work-life balance. Maintaining healthy work-life balance. So that's another strategy. Write down this as another general point with it. Under the overall organizing strategies, improve conceptual, the cognitive abilities, human and technical skills. If you are familiar with the different tasks, if we have the sufficient technical knowledge related to those tasks, then we can handle multiple tasks at once. Improve conceptual, human and technical skills. You all know these skills, but these are basic pre-managerial skills required for a manager. You all have learned it, conceptual skills, cognitive abilities, then the human skills, interpersonal skills, and the technical skills. Right, okay. Now listen to this. This is the last part of the chapter. Yes, this is last part, right? Something called self-awareness. Now we need to think why this self-awareness is important when we are discussing handling multiple tasks. Right? Always, again and again, but I am emphasizing, always keep the link, the area that we are discussing, and the module plus the chapter. You all have to always link all these three areas with it. The specific area that we are discussing, plus the chapter, as well as one module. Right? This is related, all the chapters, all the content that we are discussing related to skills in leadership and innovation. Since we are in the area of skills in leadership, so then when we are discussing something, it should be linked with the skills in leadership. And the title also work on the challenges. Right? So then as leaders, we have to work or perform our role under different challenges. So it's clear. Now we are in the point of discussing self-awareness. So now we have to think, okay, what is the link between self-awareness and working on the challenges? What do you think? Why we need to understand or why we need to learn kind of an area called self-awareness under the area called working on the challenges? Fine. First tell me what is self-awareness? If we consider the leadership development process, also there's a process called leadership development. The first or the initial stage of that particular process is self-awareness. As leaders, we should know about ourselves, right? So, what are the weaknesses that we have, what are the strengths that we have, and what are the opportunities available in the environment, and what are the threats? Right? All these things should be related to the leadership routine. Right? Again, I'm telling, if we consider the leadership development process, there's an area called leadership development process. So there are 4 phases here. These are the main 4 phases of leadership development process. When we are in the process of leadership and when we are performing our role as a leader, if we want to develop our skills and if we want to develop our leadership role, so we have to go through these 4 phases. The initial stage is leading yourself. That means as a leader, we need to lead ourselves with it, right? In order to lead ourselves, we should know about our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. In another term, you all have to listen. In other terms, we need to understand about our emotional intelligence level. We need to understand about our stress management level. We need to understand about our confidence level. And we need to understand whether we have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. Right? All those things we need to understand. If we know ourselves, right, then we can lead ourselves. Then lead in others. Then only we can move on to the next step. Once we can lead ourselves, then you all are not giving the fullest attention. So once we feel that, okay, now I'm in a position, yes, I can lead myself, then we can move on to the next step. We can think about leading a team, small team, right? Small team in the sense, it's not a department, it's not a separate division. Kind of 4 or 3 individuals, and it's just only one unit. It's small team. Then if we have the capability of leading that kind of a team, now we can step into the next phase, that is leading a department. So HODs are coming under this phase. Right? Then once we realize that, yes, I can lead a department, so I have the capabilities, why not? Then we can move on to the last stage of the leadership development process, leading an organization. And all kind of example is CEO, managing directors. So they are coming under this phase, leading an organization, right? So what I want to highlight is with it, you can understand this leadership development process starting with leading yourself. If we want to lead ourselves, right, we need to understand our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We need to aware about ourselves, right? So that's why now I will link with the self-awareness with the title of today's chapter, that is handling working under challenges, right? So when we are working under challenges today, you know we are getting stressed, right? So we need to control our emotions. We cannot, like, we are becoming aggressive, but we cannot show, or we cannot act in a kind of aggressive mode because we are in within an organization. අපි ගෙදර නම් ඉන්නේ ගෙදර මිනිස්සු ඒක control කරගන්න එක අපි stress වෙලා ඉන්න. But when we are working in an organization, it's not a valid point. So we have to maintain emotional intelligence, right? So in that case, if we want to work under challenges, we want to understand our strengths, weaknesses. For an example, if we identified that when we are getting close to the deadlines, we are automatically getting stressed, but it's a kind of weakness. Then from our end, we need to have set of strategies to reduce that stress. Right? That's why. So see the link, always maintain the link between the title and the area that we are discussing. So here, write down a small topic with the self-awareness. Write down a small topic, self-awareness. Write down. It is the process of understanding. It is the process of understanding our own strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Put a full stop. when we are performing as leaders, put a comma, it is important to understand our emotional intelligence level, comma, confidence level, stress level, and this is also important. Assertiveness, the capability related to taking initiatives. Assertiveness and motivation. So simply put it. So now next thing is, now we know yes, self-awareness is important when we are handling multiple tasks and working under challenges. Now it's clear. But the thing is, the next step that we need to understand is, so how we can aware about ourselves, or how we can understand our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. How we can understand our emotion, intelligence level, confidence level, and all the areas that you all have written, right? So for that, we can use a simple tool, right? Called personal SWOT analysis, right? It's a very simple tool for that. If you want to understand yourself, what you can do is, you can use a small framework called personal SWOT analysis. It's totally same as the SWOT analysis that we are conducting for the business organization, right? So in the SWOT analysis, what we do is, if we consider a specific organization, we are listing down the strengths. Then we are listing down the weaknesses and opportunities and threats. It can be sometimes we are developing SWOT analysis for the organizations, and we are developing SWOT analysis for individual projects, right? Based on the situational requirements, we are developing different SWOT analysis for the organizations. So here also the same thing we can apply to our personal lives also. What we can do is, here the thing is, you all have to focus the leadership, right? So we are discussing about managing or what you call the working under challenges as a leader. So here when we are discussing or when you all are applying the personal SWOT analysis for yourself, you all have to be careful. You all have to specifically address the leadership skills or the leadership, right? Let me show you all. So this is really familiar to you all, this SWOT analysis, right? Only change or only kind of a special thing that you all have to do here is, you all have to link this SWOT analysis with the leadership. And listen to them. Here, you all may write down the strengths that you all have, right? But the thing is, the only change here I'm expecting is you all need to highlight strengths You all can discuss general strengths that you have. That is totally okay. But you all need to emphasize strengths related to leadership. For example, if you have good communication skills, yes, it's a kind of a strength that you have in terms of leadership, right? So in that way, Putin, you all in the examination, right? If there's a question which is related to apply personal SWOT analysis for yourself and discuss, oh, there can be kind of a question from this area. So there, what I'm expecting is write down your general strengths. That is okay. But at least there should be 2 or 3 strengths which are focusing leadership. Right? So weaknesses also say if you are not a good team player, yes, it's a kind of a weakness which you have in terms of leadership. Right? So, for example, under the opportunities, would just consider if you are a good person at forecasting, predicting the things. It's an opportunity that you have, especially when you are in the role of a leader or when you are in the process of leadership. In that way, would they write down? Let me take you to the question. Here, conduct a personal SWOT analysis for yourself. Identify general SWOT factors related to yourself. Identify special SWOT factors related to leadership skill that you have. So for the strengths, write down altogether 6 strengths, but out of that 6 strengths, at least there should be 3 strengths which are related to leadership. And you all can write down 6 weaknesses. Same thing. In that area also there should be at least 3 skills, or not skills, 3 weaknesses related to leadership. Same for the opportunities and threat. Quickly take out your book and do this activity with it. The thing is, this area can be tested in the examination. Personal SWOT analysis. Let me do the activity. Just do at least this as a practice for the examination. We just consider this as a practice for the examination and do the activity. For each area, at least there should be 6 points. Out of 6 points, 3 points should be related to leadership. If you do not have good negotiation skills, okay, you all can consider it as a weakness. Because when you all are working with a team, definitely you all have to negotiate with your team members. Other thing, really sorry. I did discuss this thing because what did I discuss this before starting the lecture? Because few of you are missing here. Anyhow, pass the message, right? So I have uploaded the individual assignment to the LMS, right? I have given time. You all have 1 month time. So the deadline is due on 31st of December. From then I'm not going to give any kind of an extension for the individual assignment. Right? You all have 1 time period. So first, read the assignment today. It's not a very difficult assignment. It's really easy. Right? You all have to see that 2 corporate leaders, and you all have to do a comparison. You all have to analyze the profiles of those 2 leaders, and you all have to do a comparison. I have mentioned what are the areas that you all have to include in the report also. All the things are like given in the guideline. So it's kind of very easy assignment. So try to take the maximum mark for that. Right? If you need to clarify anything, anytime you all can contact me. Right? Because I'm not going to explain the assignment, all of the relevant information I have included in the guideline today. Since it's not a complex assignment, I'm not going to explain the areas that you all have to do. So it's really easy. Just refer the assignment, and if there's anything that you all cannot understand or if you all have any doubt, you all can ask me. Right? Practice. That will be a 6 mark, 8 mark allocation question in the exam paper, right? This area. Okay, but you all can do this activity later. So now 10 minutes for 6. So we will find that's more time to start a new chapter also. In this 10 minutes, I can start a new chapter. So you all can do this stuff until you home also. This is a small activity. You can go early because the external outside is really dark. Yes, but I will wind up the session with this story. Next week, we are going to start new chapter, right? So, thank you. Okay, girls, go safe. Outside is really dark. You can have one today. With the online students, so from this I will wind up the session for today. So you all can leave. If there's anything, anytime today, you all can send me an email and contact me. So really sorry. So they are leaving from the class. In that case, I cannot hear you all properly. If you need to clarify anything, you all can contact me anytime. Just drop me an email or even you all can give me a call. So then I will clarify the areas related to the chapter that we are discussing. Okay. Thank you very much for the participation. See you all next Saturday at 3 p.m. Thank you.